For millions of people across North America, nature is not just scenery. It is a force that shapes daily life. From burning deserts and frozen tundra to erupting volcanoes and shifting ice, the continent is home to some of the most extreme environments on Earth. In these places, the land is unstable, the climate unforgiving, and survival is a constant negotiation with the natural world. In this countdown, we explore the top 10 places in North America where nature hits the hardest, ranked from the least extreme to the most relentless. We will examine where these places are located, what natural forces dominate them, how often disasters strike, and what it takes for life to persist under such conditions. Understanding these environments matters because they reveal not only the raw power of nature, but also how fragile human presence can be when the Earth decides to move, burn, freeze, or flood. By the end of this video, you will discover landscapes shaped by ancient explosions, regions transformed by climate extremes, and places where nature is still actively rewriting the map. Let us begin. Number 10. Crater Lake National Park, Oregon. Crater Lake appears calm, isolated, and untouched, but its existence is the result of one of the most violent volcanic events in North American history. Around 7,700 years ago, Mount Mazama erupted with catastrophic force, ejecting vast amounts of magma and ash. The eruption was so powerful that the mountain collapsed inward, forming a massive caldera that would eventually fill with rain and snow. Today, Crater Lake is the deepest lake in the United States, reaching nearly 1,943 feet at its deepest point. It has no rivers flowing into or out of it, meaning its water level is controlled entirely by precipitation and evaporation. This makes it incredibly sensitive to climate changes, even subtle ones. Despite its peaceful appearance, the region remains geologically active. Earthquakes still occur beneath the Cascades, and future volcanic activity is possible. The sheer depth of the lake, the instability beneath it, and the violent history hidden below the surface remind us that nature does not need to look dangerous to be powerful. Crater Lake earns its place at number 10 as a quiet warning of what lies beneath seemingly tranquil landscapes. Place number 9, Aniakchak National Monument, Alaska. It is one of the most remote and least visited protected areas in North America, and for good reason. Located on the Alaska Peninsula, this vast volcanic caldera stretches nearly 6 miles wide, carved by repeated eruptions over the last 10,000 years. The most recent major eruption occurred in 1931, blanketing nearby villages in ash and permanently altering the land. The caldera contains steep cliffs, rivers, and Surprise Lake, all enclosed within the collapsed remains of a massive volcano. There are no roads, no permanent settlements, and almost no human infrastructure. Weather conditions are brutal. Thick fog, sudden storms, and strong winds can arrive without warning, grounding aircraft and trapping visitors for days. Aniakchak represents nature in near total control. The environment is shaped by volcanic instability, extreme isolation, and unpredictable weather. Rescue is difficult, navigation is dangerous, and survival depends entirely on preparation and experience. The land here is still alive, still changing, and largely indifferent to human presence, earning Aniakchak the 9th spot on our list. Number 8. Pico de Orizaba, Mexico. Towering over central Mexico, Pico de Orizaba, also known as Citlaltépetl, is the highest mountain in Mexico and the tallest volcano in North America, rising 18,491 feet above sea level. Its immense height creates dramatic climate contrasts, with tropical forests at its base and permanent snow near its summit. Although its last confirmed eruption occurred in the mid-19th century, Pico de Orizaba is still considered an active volcano. Its glaciers, once extensive, are shrinking rapidly due to rising temperatures. Scientists estimate that the volcano has lost more than half of its glacial ice in recent decades, increasing the risk of landslides and flooding downstream. For climbers, the mountain presents thin air, sudden storms, and freezing temperatures. Winds can exceed safe limits without warning, and visibility can vanish in minutes. Nearby communities depend on meltwater from the volcano, making them vulnerable to both ice loss and volcanic hazards. Pico de Orizaba stands as a symbol of how altitude, climate change, and dormant volcanic power intersect, placing it firmly at number 8. Place number 7. Yellowstone National Park, United States. Yellowstone is often seen as a wildlife sanctuary, but beneath its forests and geysers lies one of the most powerful geological systems on Earth. The park sits atop a supervolcano with a massive magma chamber fueling more than 10,000 geothermal features, including geysers, hot springs, and fumaroles. The Yellowstone caldera was formed by colossal eruptions 2.1 million, 1.3 million, and 640,000 years ago, each one capable of reshaping entire continents. Today, the region experiences thousands of earthquakes every year, most too small to feel, but clear evidence that the ground is constantly shifting. The land itself rises and falls as magma moves below the surface, sometimes by several inches per year. Rivers boil, soil becomes acidic, and wildlife must navigate an environment where the ground can suddenly give way. While a full supereruption is unlikely in the near future, Yellowstone's continuous activity makes it one of the most unpredictable landscapes in North America. Its combination of beauty and danger earns it the 7th position. Number 6. Denali National Park, Alaska. Denali rises higher than any mountain on the continent, reaching 20,310 feet, but what makes it truly extreme is how abruptly it towers above the surrounding land. The base of the mountain sits near sea level, creating one of the greatest vertical reliefs on Earth. Temperatures near the summit can plunge below -40 degrees Fahrenheit, with winds strong enough to knock climbers off their feet. Storms can arrive suddenly, trapping mountaineers for days in sub-zero conditions. As a result, fewer than 60% of climbers who attempt Denali's summit succeed. The region is also seismically active. The Denali Fault produced a magnitude 7.9 earthquake in 2002, one of the strongest inland earthquakes ever recorded in North America. Avalanches, crevasses, and extreme cold dominate the landscape. Even experienced climbers face serious risk. Denali is not just tall, it is unforgiving, and that combination places it at number 6. Place number 5. Wrangell-St. Elias National Park, Alaska. Wrangell-St. Elias is the largest national park in the United States, covering more than 13 million acres of rugged wilderness. Inside its borders are 9 of North America's 16 tallest peaks, active volcanoes, and some of the continent's largest glaciers. The park contains the Malaspina Glacier, one of the largest Piedmont glaciers on Earth, along with massive ice fields that are constantly shifting. Earthquakes, volcanic activity, avalanches, and sudden glacial floods regularly reshape the terrain. Weather conditions are unpredictable. Storms can trap travelers for days, and temperatures can change dramatically within hours. With few roads and limited access, rescue efforts are difficult and sometimes impossible. Wrangell-St. Elias represents nature on a massive scale, where distance, ice, and geology work together to create an environment that overwhelms human control. Its sheer size and intensity earn it the 5th spot. Place number 4. Death Valley National Park, USA. Death Valley is the most extreme desert in North America. In 1913, it recorded the highest air temperature ever measured on Earth, 134 degrees Fahrenheit, a record that still stands. The park also contains Badwater Basin, the lowest point on the continent, at 282 feet below sea level. Rainfall averages less than 2 inches per year, but when rain does fall, it often arrives in violent bursts. Flash floods can carve canyons, destroy roads, and reshape the desert overnight. In recent years, rare storms have temporarily filled ancient lake beds, revealing how quickly extremes can shift. The heat is deadly. Vehicles fail, dehydration sets in rapidly, and rescue can take hours or days. Even short hikes can become life-threatening. Death Valley is not empty. It is hostile. Its relentless heat and isolation place it at number 4. Number 3. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park sits atop one of the most active volcanic systems on the planet. Kilauea, one of the world's most active volcanoes, erupted almost continuously from 1983 to 2018, destroying hundreds of homes and reshaping entire neighborhoods. Lava flows can move slowly or suddenly surge forward, cutting off escape routes. When lava reaches the ocean, it creates toxic gas clouds capable of causing serious respiratory damage. Earthquakes frequently shake the region as magma moves beneath the surface. Entire landscapes can change within days. New land forms, old land collapses, and communities must adapt or relocate. Unlike other disasters, volcanic activity here is ongoing, not occasional. Hawaii Volcanoes is a place where Earth is still under construction, making it one of the most powerful and unpredictable environments in North America, and placing it at number 3. Number 2, the Everglades, Florida. The Everglades is a vast subtropical wetland, often described as a slow-moving river of grass. Much of it sits less than 1 meter above sea level, making it extremely vulnerable to flooding, hurricanes, and rising seas. Climate change is transforming the region. Saltwater intrusion is pushing inland, contaminating freshwater supplies, and killing native vegetation. Stronger hurricanes bring storm surges that flood enormous areas overnight. As sea levels rise, entire ecosystems are collapsing or migrating. Wildlife habitats shrink, freshwater sources disappear, and communities face increasing flood risk. Once flooded, water drains slowly, leaving behind long-term damage. The Everglades exists on the edge of habitability. Its fragile balance between land and water places it at number 2. Place number 1. The Arctic regions of North America. At the top of the list is the Arctic, the most extreme environment on the continent. Spanning northern Alaska, Canada, and Greenland, it experiences months of darkness, temperatures below -58 degrees Fahrenheit, and violent polar winds. Climate change is hitting this region faster than anywhere else on Earth. Arctic temperatures are rising nearly 4 times faster than the global average, melting ice sheets, thawing permafrost, and collapsing coastlines. Entire villages face relocation as the land beneath them erodes. Wildlife migration patterns are shifting, and ancient ice that has existed for thousands of years is disappearing within decades. The Arctic is not just extreme, it is transforming in real time. Its relentless cold, isolation, and rapid change make it the place where nature hits the hardest. From volcanic fire and crushing heat to frozen darkness and rising seas, these places reveal the full force of nature across North America. They remind us that the Earth is not static. It moves, erupts, melts, and reshapes itself constantly.